Today is March 17th, 2023. In the US and around the world, the financial markets have been really bumpy, and people are very worried about banks, the problems at Silicon Valley Bank, the problems at Credit Suisse, the problem at Signature Bank. And there's a lot of worry about people being worried. There is a panic about panicking. You don't get a run on banks until everybody's really panicked, except that the panic makes more panic. Because I'm thinking you're probably in your 20s, you've never been through this. I have been through this. There was a run like this when Bear Stearns went and Lehman Brothers ran into trouble, and there was a new wave of regulation. And my mom's generation went through it with the Great Depression. And I experienced stories from them about what life is like when the economy is bumpy. The thing is, do not panic. When you panic, you make bad decisions. You start thinking, oh, I'm going to pull my money out and hide cash under my mattress. And so you do that. And then what happens is the Fed loses courage about raising rates. So all of a sudden inflation spikes and you just got paper stuffed under your mattress. You can't solve this with panic. What you can solve this with is staying calm and thinking about making sure that whatever you have, you know where it is, you're diversified, do what you always should be doing, pay down your debt, cut your expenses. And I will give you some tips on that. But the most important thing is go on a news diet. A lot of these people are just wackadoo. I know, I worked with them. I worked with guys who just flipped out. Remember, you're dealing with people who are in love with money. They're, drinking Red Bulls. They're not sleeping. They're paid based on a top line and not a bottom line. They're worried about looking bad to somebody else. They're making stupid decisions because they're freaked out. Just because they're freaked out, you shouldn't be. So now's the time to be calm. This is a wave. Sometimes when you're in the ocean, you get a wave, you get water up your nose. That's okay. Calm down. So I worked on Wall Street for a while and had a big job at a big company. And when I went in, I thought, oh, these guys, because they were all guys, they must be so smart because they had really great outfits, Brioni suits and monograms on their cups and, slick back hair like Michael Douglas. There's a movie called Wall Street where he's Gordon Gekko and greed is good, and they were done, baby. And I really admired them when I got there. And then I started listening to them and watching how they worked. And I realized, by and large, I'm going to leave out people I admire like Warren Buffett. Wall Street is a bunch of teenage girls. They all, they try to psych each other out. They fall into different camps. They disrespect each other. One of them believes in this, one of them believes in that. And they all make money out of following trends. And they all get scared if they're not the cool kids in camp, right? And so the level of competition and emotional maturity is pretty much the same as you'd see. And you remember from being a teenage girls, they party too much. They do everything too much. They are, how should I put this, not in control of their impulses or their hormones. So by and large, if you see all of them running in a herd in one direction, think about, does this make really any sense? Is this any smarter than, swallowing pods of dishwasher liquid? No. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't listen to anybody. What I'm saying is listen to them like you would listen to your teenage sister. You listen, you empathize, and then you use your own brain to decide what makes sense and what doesn't. Think about, and then I'll stop with this, cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency was so cool. It was so cool. And then suddenly it was so not cool. Pyramid schemes, people who got sucked into, there was a guy in America called Bernie Madoff, who for 30 years made money by acting like all the cool kids were in his club and maybe he wouldn't let you invest. And so he just took everybody's money. So if it's about being cool and you're following the cool kids and you're proud of, listening to people who are all saying the same thing, stop it. And by the way, the men in your life, and that includes all the men in your life who say they're day traders and they know all about this and they're trying to get you worked up, they're sort of in a cult too. Tell them to calm down.